You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Hello. And welcome. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast.
It's been so long that we're old now.
Long.
What's wrong with you guys?
This week we'll be recounting the tale.
We're gaslighting you. We're old, Ian. Come on.
You're
Don't
the
you
youngest
remember
one
how old
now.
Oh, God, now I'm the youngest one here.
You guys, it is Friday. We're recording on Friday. It's like Freaky Friday.
There you
Freaky
go.
Friday.
Now we're old.
We all put our ages in a hat and pulled them out. We all got our own age. So kind of not really that freaky, I guess.
But the potential for freakiness was definitely
potentially
there.
Freaky Friday. Which is every movie that's ever been made. That happens to take place on Friday.
So today we are going to talk about Sea of Stars.
Stars.
Part 1, question mark?
It's definitely part one.
Part 1? Yeah, you're right. You're right. No matter what, it's part 1.
Right.
Even if it's part 101, but it's part 1.
It is part one. But it implies that we might be talking about it again in the future.
But before we talk about Sea of Stars, how's your guys' week been?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything, I don't know, vehicular happen?
It's funny you mention
Manslaughter.
it. Besides the
Wait,
manslaughter.
that's my week. Let Ian do his week first.
Yes. I have something to talk about that is car related. So I bought a car.
What? I'll pretend to be surprised. I'll pretend I don't know
I've told
any
all
of this stuff.
all this stuff before.
A new car.
What does your truck think about that?
It's jealous
That's a
as
good question.
hell. It sits out in front of my house and weeps.
Truckosaurus mad.
Truckosaurus is mad. I'm going to give Truckosaurus a bath tomorrow and just make sure it understands that I still love it. And I'm doing it for Truckosaurus to spare it the inevitably short life it will have if I keep driving it around town all the time.
You're like, it's okay, Truckosaurus. You don't have to play basketball anymore. You can play baseball.
We've got a drawing of you somewhere. Don't worry. We don't have a drawing of the
fine.
new car.
Yeah.
True. This is true.
Sports Illustrated football phone, a clear phone, a Garfield low phone, and a drawing of Ian's new car. We need those 4 things.
Yeah, you can submit the drawings of my new car if you want to pretend what it looks like
Oh, I love that.
on the Discord if you'd like to throw them out there.
Spoilers, it looks like the car that Homer designed when Danny DeVito played his brother.
That's correct, Dave. Normally, it wouldn't be a big deal
I like that car.
to talk about buying a car, except that A, I bought it from my employer. B, when there was a whole bunch of controversy surrounding this vehicle because it used to be it was a fleet vehicle and it used to be John Turley's car that he drove for work.
So much so that the first time I saw it parked here and not Truckosaurus, I was confused thinking that I was going to walk in and John Turley was going to be here.
Right. So apparently when he started driving it, all these cars were purchased with rebuilt titles from the auto auction.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a whole bunch of, it's a Chevy Cruze. It's a 2013 Chevy Cruze. And all of our cars are Chevy Cruzes, but they're thinking about going a different route. So they're trying to get rid of all these cars because they're getting to the point of maintenance and stuff, yada, yada, yada. But this one, whenever John drove it originally for work, had weird electrical problems to the point of like when he would put on the left turn signal, the engine would die.
Like everybody else in town, just don't use turn signals. It's fine.
I mean, yeah.
So they had taken it to the shop to try to fix this particular problem. And in the process of doing that, whoever fixed it just grounded the negative battery terminal to the chassis of the car, which solved the problem of the left turn signal shutting the engine off. But if you press the horn, the windshield wipers would slowly start to creep up and the engine would die. And sometimes if you did the left turn signal, the windshield wipers would start to go up.
So
It's just your car's boner.
when you told me all this
It likes
stuff
to be touched right there.
before you bought it, I was like, I don't know, man.
So, a bunch of people at the office were trying to buy this car because there was some rumor going around that they were going to just try to sell it off for $500 just to get rid of it. Well, I've been there longer than just about anybody else, so I went to my friend Josh,
Nance.
who is in charge of all of this. Not Josh Nance, not Tadpog sweetheart.
Well, hello.
Hello, I did. You
You want to buy my
You didn't know I
$500
worked
car?
here. But all I do is keep up with the fleet.
I hate to break it to you, but all Joshes are actually, they have a hive mind. So they're not technically the same like flesh, but they all have the same connected mind.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Anyway, I was talking to one of the Joshes, and I said, look, I need a car, and I need something that gets good gas mileage.
I need it
'cause
for $500.
for driving this. I said, I've heard that y'all are trying to get rid of this thing for $500. Is that the case? He was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know for sure what the owner of the company wants to do about that car, but I'll find out. And if you want, you can go ahead and drive it. See if you're willing. Because I said, I'm okay with I used to work on cars. I used to race cars. I worked on cars a lot in my life. So I know a little something about them. And I was like, I like to take on a project. And I meant that. I mean, really, I didn't know what was wrong with it. Usually electrical problems with a car means get rid of it.
Right.
And so I said, I'll fucking take it. If it's drivable and it's mostly safe, I'll take it and I'll fucking work on it. And maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I won't. But at the very least, all I'll do is just not honk the horn.
Right. It's way better gas mileage than Truckosaurus.
We're talking, I put a full tank of gas in this car almost 2 weeks ago, and I haven't even hit the halfway point on the tank yet. So,
Damn.
yes, way fucking better mileage than my 2004 Dodge Dakota. That gets like probably 12 miles to the gallon. I know, crazy, right? So anyway, he's like, if you want to drive it, see how you feel about it. You'll be on the short list to get it. I think one of the other people that wanted it, that was like right ahead of me, backed out. Like they changed their mind or something. So like, I was like, idiots. I will take this car. I said, if you can just find out what he wants for it. I said, if you can get it to me for $500, perfect, awesome.
Sure.
But let me know what he wants for it. I will take it as is. You don't have to fucking do anything to it. Just give it to me for that price, and I'll deal with it. He's like, all right, I'll find out. So I drove it for about a week, and as predicted, it was fine if I didn't honk the horn.
Did you try it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Several times.
All right, sure.
Sometimes it didn't work, do it. Sometimes it did. But yeah, several times. And every time the windshield wipers start, and it would die.
Come, and then it would die.
come, and then it would roll over and fall asleep. Exactly. I left
get
a
the
big
towel.
old mess all over the street, and the floorboards were all sticky. It was just a terrible situation.
The cum car.
The cum car. It is white. So anyway, I'm driving, and I wait about a week. And I go back to Josh, and I'm like, what's the story here? I want this car. I want it.
Okay.
I guess you could have it for fun. So he's like, well, he said, I talked to the guy, our owner. I don't want to say his name. And he said that he wants to take it to the mechanic to see if they will be willing to fix it first. And I'm like, fuck.
Right.
I was upset because I was like, I want to fuck with this car,
Right.
and I don't want you to take it there, spend $1,500 to fix it, and then roll that into the price
Or worse.
or worse.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want you to do that, but hey, it's your car, whatever. He's like, well, I'll talk to the guy that works downstairs that has all the keys, which I'll talk about later. Because I got another story about my car being stolen.
You do?
I do.
I can't wait to hear that.
That'll be for the stinger. What do you think?
I love it.
All right. So anyway.
No, I want to hear it now.
You know what? Tyler's right. I can't wait either.
All right. Pause. I'll splice it in. I've already recorded the stinger. So I talked to the guy. I'm like, he said he wants to take it to the shop. Can you arrange to get it down to this place to look at? He's like, yeah. So next couple of days later, I'm like, hey, did you ever get around to calling the shop? And he's like, well, I just talked to them, and they said they won't touch it. They said, we don't work on electrical issues, especially dangerous, extensive electrical issues.
That car's haunted. Unquote.
It might as well be, as far as most mechanics are concerned. And I understand that sentiment. I do. But keep in mind, this car had been crashed and rebuilt. Okay, so it was a salvage title, rebuilt title. It looks great. It's in great shape now, but it had to be rebuilt. And so I go back to Josh and I'm like, dude, I always won't touch it. The mechanic won't touch it. And he goes, oh God, you know.
So I come so easy. No one will touch
he
it.
says,
Virgin car.
so he goes, I'm gonna let me talk to the owner about it. He comes back to me later that day. He said, I don't want to take it. If they're not willing to touch it, I don't want to take it to another shop and have all this. He's like, I'll sell it to you for $1,000. I'm like, sold. I'll take it. This car has 31,000 miles on it. It's 10 years old. It has 31,000 miles on it. It's in perfect condition, except for there's a little rust on the hood and a few other things from where they put it together.
I haven't even seen the rust.
Yeah,
so that's
it's
how
tiny
like,
rust.
That's how little.
Yeah, it's so. Anyway, I bought the car for $1,000, and the next day I fixed it. I did some research, and
You exercised the demon.
I did. I milked it.
Put a numbing condom on it.
Man,
Milked
I'm
it.
jealous of your car.
John and I were looking at
Milking it.
I was doing some research. I did some research on YouTube, and I found that, and I suspected anyway, it was going to be a ground wire problem. It's like something's grounded wrong somewhere, and because that can cause all kinds of creepy, weird shit in your car. And I knew that since the car had been rebuilt, what they did was probably they grounded something in the wrong place. So John Turley has recently also bought a car from my workplace that is very, very similar. Like they're the same year, I think. Either that or they're like a year off, but very close enough to be, we have the same engine, everything. So we went outside into the parking lot and opened the hood on both cars, and I realized that there was a wire on his negative terminal of his battery that wasn't on mine. There was a hole where a screw goes for the ground wire, but they had used a homemade wire, I told you, to ground the negative battery terminal to the chassis of the car.
Right.
Clothes hanger. They just
To fix the
Did you put it on channel 4?
there's your problem.
to fix the turn signal thing that was killing the car initially, right? It's like, well, John's had his thing split off from another cable that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Well, I found the wire that was split off on mine, but it was grounded to the wrong place. So I went home, and later that day, I took the battery out. I took all the wires up and found that one wire and grounded it and brought it up, took off the homemade wire and put the new wire on where it was on John's car. Fired it up. The check engine light went out. The horn was super loud.
Okay.
The wipers didn't go up, and I have had zero problems with that car, knock wood, since then.
That's awesome.
It's in perfect shape.
That's awesome.
Took it to the mechanic. I took it to Plaza Tire to get the oil changed, and they said
That's
the
where I
brake.
go.
They said the brakes and the antifreeze were like mud. The fluids needed to be changed. So they did a flush and fill on the brake system and a flush and fill on the coolant system. I go to pick it up, and the guy's like, he's like, this car is in amazing shape. I'm like, yeah, I just bought it. He goes, how much do you want for it? And I'm like, it's not for sale. I need it. And he's like, and I told him the whole story, and he was super jealous that I got the car for $1,000.
It's a great deal.
And he's like, we went over this car tits to toenails, and everything about it was 100% perfect. He said the wheel bearings, the transmission, the engine, everything about this car is in 100% pristine condition. He says, I've never seen a 10-year-old car with A, 31,000 miles on it, and B, in such perfect condition. How much do you want for it? I'm like, it's not for sale. So I kept the car. I didn't sell it. And then it got stolen. And the rest of that story comes later.
Nice. Well, I hope you get it back. I hope it all works out.
I don't think it will. But we'll have to wait and see till the end of the show. Stick around for the stinger.
Especially if you're on YouTube. We need to watch all of this.
Every day.
Not just the
You can't
first 7
skip.
minutes. Also, we noticed 80% of you are not subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I just see it on a lot of YouTube videos.
I think that's probably fine. That's probably accurate.
It probably, maybe I was a little too generous of us.
80? Yeah, it's probably more like 98.
Yeah, our stats show that you clicked on this thinking that it was actually Cool World, the movie.
Cool World or Surf
or
Ninjas.
Three Ninjas
or,
Kick
Three
Back.
Ninjas Kick Back.
Yeah.
God, we got so many views.
We should call every episode Three Ninjas, Kick Back.
Or let's just start doing movies. It's like, fuck it, man. It's like, who's gonna be like on YouTube being like, Tom and Jerry SNES.
Frantic Flea.
Frantic Flea. Let's just call it fucking Waterworld. Oh, well, we did that.
We did that.
Didn't work.
That didn't work. Yeah.
We should have named True Lies Free to View. And
4K.
Just 4K. Black square. I did want to just mention a couple of little things. I know I've talked a lot this episode, so I apologize for hogging the mics today. But I got a lot of energy. We're a day late, and I got all this energy I need to get out of me. And all it's like and subscribe, and we won't be $1 short. We'll still be a day late, but we won't be $1 short.
If enough
that depends on you, Patreon donor.
Patreon, I'm talking to you. I've been playing, in addition to the game we're covering today, Starfield, Sea of Stars. I'm playing Starfield. That
nice.
Released.
I had that on my list of questions to ask you because I knew you were
So
excited.
far, it's
Sorry, I played Garfield. Different.
I knew
different
you were gonna say
I played
Garfield.
Seinfeld.
It's good so far. I haven't played much of it. I haven't had a lot of time for gaming this week. I didn't have the version that I could play over the long weekend. Mine didn't. I was playing it for free on Game Pass.
Right.
Well, not for free, but just on Game Pass, which didn't release till like 9 p.m. Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but so far what I have done has been awesome. The space flight, the space combat. It's a Bethesda game through and through with hundreds of improvements. There's so much to do. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Like 10 times more overwhelming than Fallout 4 was relative to like Fallout New Vegas. Like there's just because Fallout 4 added like you could build your own.
You mean New
house.
Vegas is better? Yeah, I agree.
I agree too.
with that.
New
as
Vegas
well.
the best Fallout? Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I think it is. But Starfield's really good. I've really been enjoying it. I highly recommend it. But that's going to be a long-term engagement that I will just update everyone on as I go. I wanted to talk about what I'd watched this week. Mostly it's the same stuff that I'm just watching current episodes. But I did have a couple of movies I wanted to bring up for everybody to watch. It's 2 movies in a series. The first movie is called Becky. And the second movie is called Wrath of Becky.
Oh, are these movies related?
Not at all.
Okay.
Weird, I know.
That is weird.
It's one of those things, just they didn't check with one another first.
Kind of how like all the potential Freaky Friday movies aren't really taking place in the same universe.
Wrath of Becky is most definitely not the second part of the first movie.
Okay, that's good to know.
Which is not true at all. They're one and a sequel. High recommend on this one.
Okay.
Because it took me by surprise. It's about this young girl who she's about. I'd say I think when in the first movie, I want to say she's like 13 or 14. Her mom has recently passed away. Her dad is taking her and her dogs up to a cabin in the woods where they lived and had all their good times growing up that he had originally planned on selling after the mom passed. And he was taking her up to surprise her by telling her that he was not selling the cabin. But she's still real bitter and being kind of angsty and upset about her mom being dead and treating dad like shit. Dad manages to find the worst possible time to invite his girlfriend up to the cabin and her son to spend the weekend with them, to find out that he has proposed marriage to her and now she's going to be stuck with the stepmom. So she's really upset about this. Runs off into the woods with her faithful dog. And while she's out in the woods...
Dog's name is Becky. Didn't see it coming.
While she's out in the woods, a group of neo-Nazis show up at the house looking for something that's hidden in the house that's very important to them. And chaos ensues. And the events of this movie lead into the events of the second movie, which is more of the same. These are fucking amazing movies. They are exciting. They are funny. The girl that plays Becky, her name is Lulu Wilson. She was in such movies as that neither of you have probably seen. Ouija.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
And Annabelle.
Mm-mm.
She was in both of those. And she was also cast and acted in the original Doctor Strange movie, but her scenes were cut. She was going to play Doctor Strange's little sister in a flashback from the past because his sister dies, and that's one of his traumas. But they cut those scenes for time. The neo-Nazi was originally supposed to be played by Simon Pegg.
Okay.
But due to scheduling conflicts, he was not able to be in the movie, and Kevin James took his place. Because,
of course, it's the natural substitution.
Well, to be fair, Kevin James was originally going to play the role of her father. But when Simon Pegg couldn't be in it, he's like, fuck, it's the first time he's ever played a bad guy role. And he's like, fuck, I'll try it. It'll be a change of pace. It's surprisingly good. He's really good. I like him anyway. But in this role, it was really a nice juxtaposition to what he normally does. So,
what Paul Blart doing?
Paul Blart, why? Why you got them swastikas on the back of your head?
He's making a grocery list.
And then, her dad is
still arguing with Leah Remini.
I can't talk right now. He gets on the cell phones and talk. And the dad is played by Joel McHale.
Wow, okay.
And then in the second movie, the heavy is played by Sean William Scott.
Wow.
To great effect once again. These were all very surprising roles, considering the little girl that's in it, Lulu Wilson, is not what you would have expected to be in this role. It's almost like a John Wick type of thing.
Okay.
I just think it's a great time that just about anybody would enjoy.
Okay.
It's not for everybody, but given the nature of a lot of the things, y'all know what kind of movies I like, and you know the kinds of things that I get into and
Sure.
get excited about. If any of that has ever resonated with you, I think you would very much appreciate Becky and the Wrath of Becky. And the way they leave the Wrath of Becky implies a third movie is right behind it. They did not. They keep you guessing. There's lots of things that get explained and things that don't get explained, so they keep the story fresh and keep it going. So yes, that's my recommend for this week. 5 stars. Wiz and Sage says check it out.
Cool.
I'm done. Thank you for letting me talk for fucking an hour or whatever.
3, actually. You're welcome.
That was my plan.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
So Patreon.
How about you, Dave?
I've been playing a lot of Sea of Stars. That's kind of been my main thing. Not just because of, it started, I don't know. I was going to say it started because we were going to do an episode on it, but that's also not true. I was planning on playing it anyway. So it's really nice that we are doing an episode on it because we get to do something fun for the show.
Definitely.
Which is not to say that I don't have fun recording it. That's a game. That's a norm.
It's a game we wanted to do, as opposed to a game that was chosen by us by the fucking god that we worship.
Right. So I didn't play a lot other than that. Like, just a little baby bit of Baldur's Gate 3. Like, that's it. So now Sea of Stars is like the game that's interrupted Baldur's Gate 3, which interrupted Final Fantasy 16, which interrupted Diablo 4. So, and then now Starfield's also in the lineup. So it's like, all right, video games are back. Did you know that?
It is. They are.
Why was it
Not just in
2023,
pop
2020 when everybody was stuck in the house?
Oh, shit.
I guess Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. That's all we did. Starfield is going to be a commitment, my man. Just be prepared.
I'm not sure that Starfield is a game that I'm going to commit to. Starfield's a game that I'm very curious to check out. I want to see what it's about. I didn't finish Fallout 4. So I think that unless I want to check out all the cool new stuff, but I feel a little Bethesda RPG fatigue. Even though they don't come out with them all the time. It's just every time I play one, it's like, okay, it's this.
This is going to happen to me as well. I am not going to make any plans to be at this for 6-7 months. You know what I mean? I will get tired of it and I will put it down, but I'll eventually come back to it for a bit and then put it down again. It's a huge undertaking.
That's just kind of where I've set my expectations for that game.
Right.
Which is great that it's on Battle Pass because it's like I don't have to pay anything for it. I can check it out, play it until I'm like, okay, I've done enough side quests. And I've done the space combat and but that's just me, and I felt that I did so many side quests and Fallout 4 that it got to the point where it's like, I don't care about the story. This guy doesn't care about his son enough. I don't either.
Yeah.
I'm done. I got 30 hours in. I'm done.
The thing is, this is on a planetary scale. This is on a galaxy-wide scale. So now all of those side quests are, 10 million more times because there's whole planets that you can explore.
I'm down. I'm down.
It's unbelievably cool.
It's on my list
what
for
they've
sure.
done.
Gotta
but
get
it is
through
going to be a lot.
a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, I've been thinking a lot about Fallout 4 because of the whole story of Fallout 4. And like in comparison to Baldur's Gate 3, where it's like that's what's made me think about it, because like Baldur's Gate 3 is, I feel like a rarity, because it's like one of those games where it's like, oh, the town's on fire. Shit, I'm not fully healed up. Long rest. Oh, the town burned down.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
Video games didn't train us that way, so we expected that to still be burning 8 hours later.
Yeah. Now time is a thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry, press a Garvey will find another settlement in danger in 5 minutes. You can save that one.
Right. Yeah. So it's just interesting, and it's not necessarily, let's say like it's a bad thing. It's just a thing. You know what I mean? And I just think that it's nice when it's like, oh, that's a fresh approach. I'm caught up on Zom 100.
I am not. I am not. I've got a couple of those to watch. Great show.
That's been my gym watch. Which, man, I got caught up with it, and I don't want to watch any more of Tengoku. So because Nikki's watching that, I don't want to get ahead. So I was like, fuck it, I guess back to Dragon Ball.
There we go.
And man, I picked a great episode to watch on the elliptical. Had all the hallmarks. Mr. Popo, Goku's naked in it with his little dick and balls.
Right.
At least 3 full minutes.
Right there in the gym, huh?
Yep, right there. Just on the elliptical. Like,
Planet Fitness now with 100% more Goku balls for everyone to see.
Yeah. He gets caught in a net, butt naked.
Just cast
What's
it up
that
to the TV.
blackface Sultan minstrel performer doing to that Japanese monkey child?
And like, there's a lot of questionable things I watch on my phone, but this is the thing that this episode of Dragon Ball was the thing that made me be like, I need one of those like screen protectors that like blocks the certain viewing angles. That's what did it. Not Reddit. So that's pretty much it. I had a good Labor Day weekend. That ate up a bunch of time, but like in a good way, you know. My dad was in, and my sister was in, and my brother-in-law. They were all in, and so that was fun catching up with them. And but that's kind of it. Sorry. Oh, Mortal Kombat 1, you getting in on that next week? Speaking of video games that won't stop.
I get fake money from my job now for positive, like, we can reward each other with, like, points that accrue. And so instead of getting, like, semi-annual performance bonuses, we now get these points that can be used to buy stuff in the store.
You know, Nazis had points.
They did have points. So I had enough given to me to be able to buy enough Xbox game cards to buy. So I pre-ordered Mortal Kombat 1. So I got it on pre-order.
Nice.
We'll see how long I play it because I am terrible at fighting games, but I love them.
I kind of feel, I mean, I don't know, but like for me, I want to check out Mortal Kombat 1 as well. But like my threshold on it, it's like even lower than Starfield, where it's like, I want to buy Mortal Kombat 1 and I want to play it for 4 hours. I want to see some bones. I want to see fatalities, x-rays, bones, and be like, cool.
That tracks. It tracks. But yes, I do. I am getting in on that.
Awesome.
I got it pre-installed on my Xbox.
Nice.
And now I got all that remote play shit going in my Steam Deck and my Mac and all that shit. So I can play my Xbox from anywhere now.
Which reminds me, I have some great news.
Oh, goody.
I got an upgraded modem router from the cable company. It happened today. Have not been able to test the network issues to see if maybe I can get in on some of that goodness that everybody else in the world is in on.
The only thing else you're going to need to do is just you got to put the app on your phone for the cable company.
Got it.
You can go in there and you got to do a port forward. So your Xbox, it's like the NAT.
Yep.
You just got to put in a port forward for Xbox, so you can hit it from outside your network.
Okay.
Other than that, you'd be golden.
No
I'm
worries.
glad to hear
I just
you
gotta
got
look up
some
the
new
port.
shit.
Yeah.
Port
Hopefully it
forwarding
works.
just brings me back to all the fun port forwarding we did with D20 Pro back in the day.
Yes, man. Like there was around like 2008. I felt like I did a lot of port forwarding where it's like, fuck, Warcraft's running like shit. Port forward, okay, all right, it's running a little better. You know, like,
Yep. You still have to do that because it's gotten to the point now where the equipment you rent from the cable company is really good shit. Like they've actually put some effort into making the equipment good.
I used to own mine, but
Me
it seems
too.
pointless now.
And you have to still pay to upgrade it,
Right.
Because it won't be compatible,
Right. When it's out
after
of
a few
spec.
years. So you might as well just rent.
Sure. Right.
But yeah, did you get the one I told you about that's white and looks like a
I got
Xbox?
got a newer one than that.
Nice.
So they said this is it. This is the latest one we got.
Cool.
And they're like, it's not much different than the previous one. And it's like, well, I mean, of course, but. And they're like, if it's still giving trouble, let us know and we'll charge you money.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You don't want to say what they are.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who it is.
Yeah. I mean, we could say who it is, right?
Sure. You go first.
But now I'm nervous. I was gonna say Xfinity, but now I don't know if that's who
it's
it is.
Xfinity. It's NBC.
It's rebranded Comcast to change their image.
Yeah. So
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks. Haven't tested it yet, but
I think you're going to be all right.
I hope so. I think it was the hardware.
If you have problems, you call me.
Okay. I will.
I'll come help you.
Okay. I'll call you. I'll let you know. I'll bitch about it here on the show.
Or you
next
can
week.
also call me and I'll just say, man, I'm sorry.
That's fine too. That's sometimes I need that as well.
That's helpful. It's more helpful than you making it sound.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah. I'm sorry you can't play your PlayStation 5 on your Steam Deck. I know it's very important to you. It is though.
It is.
I'd love to play Sea of Stars that way.
I haven't. I'm gonna. Before I leave here, I need to jump my Steam Deck onto the network and see if I can hit my Xbox from here.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
I can play it locally on my network all day long, but I
Right.
haven't yet had the opportunity to try playing the Xbox or my PC from here. I've done the PC from here, not the Steam Deck and not the Xbox together. If that's working, I'm going to be a happy camper.
Hell yes.
Hell
yeah.
Tyler, how you been, buddy?
Yeah, I had a work trip. I was jealous of the Steam Decks. I would have loved to have had a Steam Deck to play Sea of Stars while I was up there.
Yeah.
It's
So,
a good travel companion.
That's what's something I'm not looking to for Christmas.
And listen, get the cheapest one.
He's right, you know.
Get the cheapest one and then spend $100 on a 1 terabyte hard drive, and I'll swap it for you.
Oh, okay.
Take me 10 minutes.
I saw a 2 terabyte today on sale for like $80.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't think you want the 2 terabyte.
I don't.
It drains the battery even faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
I
Ian's
bought the
right.
middle one and with the 256 gig drive in it, and I swapped it for a terabyte. I wish I'd bought the cheapest one because the hardware specs other than the drive are no different, but you spend an extra $100 and you get that drive. You got a terabyte of storage. It runs like a dream.
Okay.
And I can swap it for you in 10 minutes. No joke.
Okay.
I hope you get one. That'd be cool if we all had one.
Yeah. That'll be probably on my list for Christmas.
Sweet.
Other than that, I don't have for business, so I was doing that. So my time with Sea of Stars is minimal, but I do want to play it some more. But we'll get to that. You guys want to do a draft?
I want to do something you suggested.
I do too. I'm
shared it.
I even forgot I suggested that.
You shared a TikTok video
Yeah.
where Donald Duck's talking to Mickey Mouse and
something
Something
was
else.
hanging
Someone else.
upside down.
Yeah.
There was probably boogers involved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
and then they were casting.
I hated this video. I hated
the
this
show
video
notes?
so much. I had to
need it.
stop watching it and ask you guys in our Discord what was it about because I can't watch this video.
In the video, Donald Duck was. I guess it was VR chat. Is what it looked like. It looked like a
did look like
podcast
it.
that was done in VR
Yeah.
chat. Is what it looked like to me. Which I mean, it seems like a idea
was
I
just-
wouldn't
it
do,
was
but pretty
distorted
good.
and
People probably
weird
watched
and-
the fuck out of that.
Lots of loud noises and weird farty noises.
It's the stuff that Henry loves to watch, where it's like, yo, man, I just screamed into my mic and it's clipping, and it's like, it's just, that just hits his humor,
Yep.
where it's just like, that's the funniest shit in the world, where it's just like,
I know.
it's like boxes you check. Horrible audio quality. Mm-hmm. Does something spin around? Yep. Looks like
Repetitive, annoying noises. Gotcha.
check.
I got one of those at the house too.
Yeah,
I
they
know
love
what you
it.
mean.
They eat it
They
up,
do.
man. But anyway,
Yes. Anyway.
in this video, they chose a game to make into a movie, and then they chose who would star in the movie, and they chose who would direct the movie.
Yes. That's it.
That's it.
It's simple
That's all.
but fun. I have a couple,
Oh, good.
and I would like to do that too, Tyler. So, with
Please.
your permission, I would like to forego the draft this week
Okay.
for this.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Me
I
go
wanna hear
first?
Yours, yeah.
I did two, and the only reason I did two is because the first one I picked, I didn't realize was already a thing, or it's gonna be.
Rampage.
My first one. Battleship.
That was my next one.
Doom.
Wait, wouldn't it be cool if they did a segment like where it's in first person?
That would be amazing. Why have they not done this?
Who knows?
BioShock is what I picked.
BioShock.
And there is a movie coming apparently on Netflix. They've got an $80 million movie planned.
You had me, then you lost me.
Well,
At the Netflix part?
Yep.
Yeah.
there's rumors that it's not going to happen now. I don't know, and I don't care. Here's what I picked: BioShock first. That's the one I've always wanted to see made into a movie. If you go back deep into our library, I go on a long, loving tirade about how much I love BioShock and how life-changing it was for me. This is one of the episodes where before I was a host. This was back when we were in the blanket fort it was before the blanket fort.
BioShock was a real long time ago.
Really
we did
long
an
time
episode on
ago.
that a really long time ago.
And I was on it. Or I was on a future episode and talked about it because I wasn't on the original. I don't
think
remember.
that's it, because I think we did BioShock with Jacob.
We did.
Oh,
In an
that's
actual
right.
bathysphere.
In a bathysphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we recorded that in his apartment.
That's correct, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, his bathysphere.
His bathysphere.
I think it was one of the first ones I was on, actually, and we were talking about what do I like gaming, and
Right,
BioShock
right.
came up. So anyway, I picked BioShock for the movie. The director I chose would be David Fincher,
Okay.
who directed
Yeah.
Seven, Fight Club, Gone Girl, and The Game. The producer, I picked J.J. Abrams, but for his Super 8 style, not his Star Trek style.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I like Super 8. I
love Super 8. I love the style of it. It's
Yeah.
creepy, haunting.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can hear but not see.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in BioShock.
Super 8 was like creepy E.T.
Yes.
And I feel like that was a criticism from a lot of people, but it was the thing
loved
that I loved.
I loved that about it. I did. So he would be the producer. The writer, I chose a gentleman named Lee Whannell.
I'm not familiar with Lee.
You might know Lee Whannell from the movie Saw. As he was the one chained in the room with Carrie Ellis.
Yeah, okay.
He wrote Saw.
Okay.
He is the writer of Saw. I did not know this until today. He also wrote Insidious, all the Insidious movies.
Yeah.
And so he's my writer.
Okay.
Now, for my protagonist, the guy you play in BioShock, I had a bit of a toss-up. I have 3 possible options.
Okay.
If one isn't available, I have 2 others to fall back on.
Perfect.
My first choice is Timothy Oliphant.
Okay. Conan's friend.
Conan's friend, Timothy Oliphant. I just listened to that.
Me too. I listened to that one today.
God, it was so fucking... The way he kept trying to plug things like throughout the course of the interview.
Yeah.
God, it was good. But I love him. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was in Justified. I've not seen anything. The Office, that's right. I've not seen anything I haven't liked him in.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, and he's a great actor, and I think he would be an excellent lead. He would be my pick. If not him, Chris Evans.
Okay.
AKA Captain America.
Sure.
I love Chris Evans. I think he's got a movie coming out soon that looks really good. I think he really flexes his acting chops. I can't remember the name of the movie. I'll have to look
Captain
it up.
Hamerica.
Captain Harmerica. It's the DC knockoff of Captain America. But I do like Chris Evans, and I think he's got a good, solid career of good acting ahead of him. I think that he's going to get to really flex his acting chops. And if he's not available, my final pick for the lead in my BioShock movie is Daniel Craig, formerly known as James Bond. Love Daniel Craig as well. He's also in Knives Out.
Yeah, Knives Out is
and Glass
awesome.
Onion. Those are such good movies. I liked Knives Out a million times better than Glass Onion.
I haven't seen Glass Onion
but
yet.
I liked
do wanna
Glass
see
Onion
it.
a whole lot. It was easy to predict, in my
Gotcha.
opinion. But it was just as good. But Knives Out, also starring Chris Evans, By the
Yeah.
way, I just remembered
Yeah, I
that.
forgot about that.
So that's a weird little Freudian thing, I guess. I don't know. But
Chef's Kiss. Knives Out
Chef's
is
Kiss.
awesome.
Knives Out is awesome. 5 stars. Wiz and Sage says, check it out. After you see my BioShock movie,
Please come see it. It's money.
as the little sister,
Great.
I have cast McKenna Grace. She's from the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh,
She's
okay.
been in a couple things. Now, she's a little older now, so she might not work in that role. But I would pick a young McKenna Grace to be the little sister. If I can't get young McKenna Grace, like AI young McKenna Grace, to be the little sister, I would pick a young lady named Julia Butters, and she is not related to Butters from South Park, as far as I know. But she was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, her 5 minutes in that movie was some of the best child acting I've ever seen, and she even looks a little bit like the little sister, so she would be the little sister. For Andrew Ryan's voice, I originally thought maybe James Spader,
Oh, man.
but upon doing a little more research, I did not realize that the voice of Andrew Ryan in the game BioShock was Armin Shimmerman, who plays Quark in DS9, Star Trek DS9. And I would pick him again to be the voice because I love the voice. I didn't realize it was him. I love that guy.
Man, I just want to see James Spader as James Spader in BioShock.
Just
like in Rapture.
He's
just
still,
around.
He's still wandering around like, why did the party stop?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not a splicer. He's just James Spader.
I would also, I had another pick. I would also accept for the voice of Andrew Ryan. I thought if I said it slow enough, I could remember. Because I didn't write this one down. I thought of it on the way here. Maybe it'll come to me, and I'll interrupt one of you with it later.
Please.
And then actual Andrew Ryan, like the physical presence of Andrew Ryan.
The manifestation.
The manifestation would be Tim Robbins.
Okay.
He's like super tall and imposing, and he's aged well.
Okay.
So I think he would make a good actual Andrew Ryan. So that's my video game to movie pick.
Shit. I love it. That was thorough.
Now I have a much less thorough second one.
Okay.
And I only did a second one because of the fact that there is supposed to be an actual BioShock movie coming out. Firewatch.
Oh, man, I haven't played Firewatch. It looks cool.
It's very cool. I played through it in a couple of days. It's very easy. It's very fun. It's very haunting. It's very BioShock because the only contact you have is with someone over a walkie-talkie that you never meet. So and you're walking around the wilderness. You're on Firewatch. I'm not going to get into the whole story of it, but it's really good. It's really, really good. And it's very creepy and weird things happen and you feel very alone and very isolated and threatened and scared. I was having real emotional reactions to this game. And it's an easy playthrough. It's not hard. There's not a whole lot of like technical stuff you have to do. It's more of a story than anything.
Cool. So, I mean, I've heard great things about it, and everything I'm hearing that you say makes me want to play it even more.
It takes place in the national park in Boulder, Colorado. And I want that to be directed, produced, and written by Tyler Sheridan of Yellowstone, a mayor of Kingstown fame.
I didn't recognize the name, but I know you well enough. When I kind of predicted who it was going to be when you said Boulder, Colorado.
Got to be him. He's got that kind of thing on lockdown as far as like the wilderness, the ranching. He has a way of putting the scene in front of you that makes you feel like you're there. It makes you know that he knows his shit. He's got a lot of shit going on, and I think maybe he's a little too busy because sometimes he'll put out just thing after thing after thing. But I've mentioned several of his shows on this show as things to watch, such as Mayor of Kingstown, the Sylvester Stallone movie or show that I mentioned, Tulsa King, and then, of course, Yellowstone, 1883, all those shows. So I want him to handle all that.
Okay.
And then as the protagonist that you play as in the game, David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Okay.
I think would be a perfect choice. If you'll know why when you play the game.
And he needs a rebound from Hellboy.
Yeah, yeah, really, he does. I think he's doing all right.
Yeah.
He did the Santa Claus movie I told you about.
Right, the
murder clause thing. I can't remember the name of it. Great.
Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun.
That one. That's the one. Thank you for reminding me. That's a great movie too. But that Firewatch is free to play on Game Pass right now if you want to play it. It's an older game. It's been around a while. But I just saw it and I thought, what the fuck? And I was very, very pleased that I did because it was a relaxing change of pace. And that is my second pick for the movie made from a video game.
Cool. I love it, man.
Thanks. What do you got?
Me, I have Untitled Goose Movie.
Perfect. I love this.
It stars Bob Odenkirk as the goose.
God.
Man.
This can be it can be done any way. I don't care. If this is a live action movie, I think it'd be hilarious.
Just Bob Odenkirk just dressed as a goose?
Yes. Yeah.
This is amazing. It's already better than BioShock.
I don't know.
I'm going to watch it again and again.
I want it produced by Tim Miller, who directed Deadpool, and he was the executive producer of both the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. So he's got a good track record with video game movies, and he also has Deadpool under his belt, which is in line, I feel like, with the spirit of Untitled Goose Game.
I agree.
I want it written and directed by Rob McElhenney.
Oh my God. I love it.
And I also, I haven't mentioned this on the show. That's all I have for the movie, unfortunately. But have you guys seen the trailer for Squirrel with a Gun?
I know.
Oh, man, look it up right now. Or maybe not right now, but like.
No, fuck that.
It's definitely the next chaotic animal game that I want to play. Because that's the name of the game is what it is. Squirrel with a Gun.
Shit, yeah. Count me in. I don't even know anything about it yet, and I'm in. And you and me, baby, we're playing Squirrel with a Gun.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm day one Squirrel with a Gun right here. Can't wait.
I'm not going to watch the trailer, but I've got to see the art for this one.
Tyler?
Oh, fuck. I am definitely in.
Watching it?
No, I'm not watching the trailer. I'm just, there's one image of a regular sized squirrel.
Yeah. With a regular sized
gun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cocaine Bear, for opening the door.
Yeah.
Well, I had to think long and hard if I had to choose a movie. And this movie is still, it has to be two movies.
Okay.
It have to be
Two,
part
like,
one and part two.
Part one
and
two?
part two.
Sea Stars.
Sea Stars.
Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Big,
Hell yeah.
deep, hell yeah. And it has to be epic because I'm thinking like, especially in the second half, like Oppenheimer, big and heavy. So Christopher Nolan directing.
Okay.
But Barbie Light in the second part.
Well, the first part would be more Barbie
Light, and then Oppenheimer heavy in the sequel.
There
Okay,
you go.
Gotcha.
There's not really one really central character, so I've casted all of them.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
First, I mean, most importantly is Kefka. I feel like you have to have Kefka be big, hated, creepy. So I don't know why, but my brain went Peter Stormare.
I don't know who that is.
He plays Lucifer in Constantine.
Oh, damn. Yeah,
So
that dude's in everything.
That he's creepy.
Yes, that's an
and
excellent pick.
So I think hit him there.
You
and
know who he is. Dave, you'll see. I'm going to bring up his face. And
Okay.
you'll be like, oh, that.
Yeah, let me see that
What's
face.
his name?
And then I need someone like that can play evil really well, but also like have a convincing edge. So for Emperor Gastal,
A Pomeranian.
a Pomer,
Because that dude always looked like a dog to me.
right?
A Pomeranian's not the right dog.
I know that
Shih Tzu, something.
it's the
Oh, yeah. I know that guy. I know the company guy. Okay.
but
you.
Vincent D'Onofrio for Emperor Gastal.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it. I like
So
that.
he's menacing, but like the right level of like clearly like he's evil, but he can dial it back enough to like certain moments of Final Fantasy VI.
Okay.
So Terra, I tried to skew for slightly younger of this generation. So for Terra, Saoirse Ronan,
Oh,
Okay.
hell yeah.
I think she's got that.
She's great.
She's got that kind of ethereal good looks to her, to where
For sure.
to be, because Terra's half Esper, half human. Locke, Timothy Chalamet,
Okay.
and to balance out his Celeste, Chloe Grace Moritz, hit girl and
Right.
everything that
Yeah,
she's in.
yeah.
I had to cast.
She was in The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, which is a fantastic movie. Chloe Grace was.
Man, I'm trying to remember if I've seen that or not.
Both.
I feel like I've seen
one
a movie.
and two are amazing. Chloe Grace is a good pick there, Tyler.
Yeah,
she's
I
a solid pick for me in casting a lot of things because she's very
She can do
versatile.
anything.
Yeah,
She's
she
great.
really is.
And I wanted to cast siblings for Edgar and Sabin. So for
Luke
Sabin,
and Owen Wilson.
shit, that's probably what I should have done. I had Chris Hemsworth for Sabin,
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I like it.
and then Liam Hemsworth
Yeah,
for Edgar.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
That's
that
a good
fits.
pairing.
Shadow, I feel like Shadow's face is going to be covered, so you need more of a voice actor for Shadow, someone who can be kind of a gritty, sorrowful actor. So Jeremy Irons as the voice of Shadow.
Okay.
Good voice.
Yeah,
For
for
Cyan, it's still got to be Tom Selleck for me. I still,
Oh my god!
every
I love
time,
it.
every time you see Tom Cyan, it's like he does look like Tom Selleck. He's got the mustache, old samurai, very honorable Tom
Much
Selleck.
like Tom Selleck, the old samurai Tom
the old
Selleck.
samurai
We all
Tom
know.
Selleck.
He drives a red Ferrari and wears Hawaiian shirts.
Edo era Tom Selleck. We all know him.
Tom Selleck's on.
Tom Selleck Sama. Come on.
Selleck Sama.
Motherfucker's a samurai. I don't know who
You're
you
right.
think you are.
For Guo, Finn Wolfhard,
Okay. From
Stranger Things.
Yeah,
He's-
okay.
He's skinny, wiry,
Yeah.
Also Ghostbusters.
and Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yep.
Another Ghostbusters. Cast
So
member.
Mog, another, need a voice actor. I think Paul Rudd as the voice of
Oh,
Mog
man,
would be
yes.
Also in
Damn.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
fun. And then I think his name is Bjorn Thorson or the mountain that moves.
Okay.
Yes.
The last casting, not the original casting, but the last casting that was killed by the Red Viper.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that guy. That guy is Yumaro, done up in Yeti gear.
Yeti'd up.
Yeti dope. Strago, I think Christopher Walken would be hilarious. Strago.
Yes.
And then Realm,
Would he be as hilarious as Strago as he was in Joe Dirt?
Ooh. What if he is that character?
Oh yeah, Clem. He has to be Clem. Playing
Clem as Strago.
Christopher Walken as Clem as Strago.
I'm playing a dude.
playing the other dude.
For Realm, I don't know any young actresses, so I was like, just throw in a time machine, young Abigail Breslin as Realm with Christopher Walken Strago.
So we're not doing a time machine for Tom Selleck.
No.
Okay.
current day Tom Selleck.
He's timeless.
Not quickly and under Tom Selleck, current day Tom Selleck. Doing reverse mortgage commercials, Tom Selleck.
God, I'm almost that old though. I'm almost old enough to qualify for a reverse mortgage.
Oh, I was about to say you are not as old as Tom.
No. I meant for the reverse mortgage thing.
That's what I've got.
That's a good
Nice.
one.
There we
That was a
go.
good one. I love it. That was fun.
Yeah, I like that. Good suggestion, Tyler.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
a
you.
lot
Yeah, I
of
saw
fun.
that TikTok. I was like, man, that'd be fun.
That video notwithstanding, I had a great time.
You know what's fucked up is like it didn't bother me until you mentioned it, and I was like, "Yeah, that was a pretty bad video."
I'm gonna quote what I actually said in
let's
our
say
chat.
I didn't even think about I'm going to go to that James Spader well, and Sid can be James Spader.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm all about that.
I said,
Does he die in the movie?
He's got to.
Yeah.
I feel like canonically, to get the most out of Final Fantasy VI, Sid has to die.
So not Scene Bean.
Yeah. No, Scene Beam.
Scene Beam.
Scene Beam would be a good Bannon.
You're fucking damn right he would.
Does he dies, right?
Off screen.
Yeah, he has an
supposedly.
off-screen death.
Yeah.
Then
I'm
it
not
would
totally
be
sure.
perfect.
They reuse his
right.
sprite, which is a little confusing.
Yeah.
I said, go ahead.
Who would play Ultros?
Ooh,
Oh shit!
you.
Louis C.K.
Me.
Tyler play
Louis
as
CK,
Ultro, as voice of
Ultro.
Ultros. You're never gonna make me. You make me laugh a lot, but the way you handled Ultros in the Scott Pilgrim game,
Dude, just enough of the
God,
voice
it
lowering.
had me just dying laughing. You're quick. You don't give yourself enough credit. You got chops, man. So the conversation surrounding our decision to do this, Tyler posts this awful TikTok video in our chat room, and Dave comes back with, "I'm down to do this. I can have answers ready for recording this week if y'all want to do it." Tyler says, "Sounds good to me." I said, "I haven't looked at that yet." And then I looked at it and I responded with, "Yeah, I'm down to do the TikTok thing, sure." Then the next day I said, "So it's pick a game you'd like to see made into a movie and who directs it." I didn't watch the whole video because it was annoying as shit. Were there other criteria?
So what I thought was funniest about that is the fact that it was the next day. Because I remember reading it and being like, he didn't watch all the video but agreed to it. And then a day later,
I saw, I got the gist of
sure.
it from the first like 10 seconds of the video. Stopped the video immediately.
through my phone.
Flushed my phone down the toilet. I figured I had it on lock as to what to do, and then I started asking myself questions like, "Wait, do we need to do a director and a writer?
Do I dress as Donald Duck or does Tyler?
Who has the boogers on?
Who's weird?
I don't know if there was
sepia-tone
boogers.
goofy?
I always go to boogers for some reason. But yeah, and then Dave showed up yesterday to record.
Yeah.
When we weren't here.
It's true. I meant to mention that in my intro. I got here on time yesterday, which is rare.
A rarity.
And I was like, man, I'm here before Ian.
But see, I'd say you got here early, Dave.
You got here
26 hours early.
full 26 hours early.
And I got in here and I was like, yeah, Ian's not here. That's weird. And I got my backup recorder out, plugged it into.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I was like, well, I mean, Ian's going to be real pleased. I got all this shit set up when we come in. So I turned the light on.
I am pleased.
I didn't get it today. I was late.
No,
I'm last one here today.
I'm pleased that you did it, even though I wasn't here to appreciate it at the time.
Turned the light on. Got the
Oh, so that's
backup
why the
recorder
board
plugged
was
into the
uncovered
board.
and everything. Yeah.
oops, forgot to cover it back up.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But that makes sense. That answers a question I had.
Yeah, got it. And I even pressed record on it. I was like, that's going to be going. And then I sat
I
down.
want that audio of
Yeah.
you just sitting
Yeah.
here.
It exists. It exists on the Zoom. We can pull it.
I'll play some elevator music behind
You know what it is? It's the Blocks podcast, the Steve O episode. I'm just listening to it, and I'm like, I listened to it for 10 minutes, and then I'm like, I got my phone. I was like, are we recording today?
No.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did have that discussion a week ago that we were going to record on Friday. Okay.
Because after you said that, then Melissa texted me, Dave's here?
Yeah, I figured she was probably freaking out because, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so that was it. I just packed my shit up and went home.
Well, you came today, and
Yeah.
that's what's important.
Well, not yet.
You will.
For sure.
We're at about an hour. So why don't we
Take a break and get some game talk?
Yeah, do a little break.
Yeah.
Do it,
Talk
do
some
it.
games.
Talk a little game.
Fuck
We'll
yeah.
see if stars.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hello, everyone. Part of our new job for Chevrolet this fall is to be very bewitching and to do all sorts of unexpected things, like this. How do you do? Have you seen the new 1965 Chevelle? It's been beautifully refined for 65. And that new Chevelle ride? Why, it's so soft and smooth. And for the inside, is Dick York, my TV husband.
Oh, hi. The Chevelle interior is sheer magic.
You really must see the wonderful new Chevelle soon.
And now for the game talk.
All that sweet, sweet game talk. Stop. Dave's excited.
Yeah. Caught me mid yawn.
Sleepy boy over here.
Yeah. We're
We're
it is
running
what
long.
it is.
Late.
We're running late. We
Yeah.
had to start late today.
That's okay. It's
that's
Friday.
fair.
You know,
Yeah.
Gotta get down on
potentially
Friday.
freaky.
Got to.
Got to.
Got to.
You know that song's about the JFK assassination?
Makes sense.
I thought all songs were about the JFK assassination.
Talking about in the backseat. It's all. Listen to it.
Oh.
Think about it.
Happened on a street which connects to a highway, man. Think about it.
All those lines about the book depository. All the Dallas references. Don't you get it?
And the Lyndon B. Johnson references in it. Pretty sure one of those girls is dressed as Lyndon B. Johnson.
I'm sure one of those girls is Lyndon B. Johnson.
And Jackie O.
At the same time.
Together at the
Again,
same
at long
time.
last.
Finally. two.
So Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars.
Which I
Sea of
kickstarted
Stars.
this back in the day.
Yeah?
So
Oh, did
I was
you?
very excited. Yeah, I got my Steam code.
Oh, wow. I
for it
didn't
and
know you
everything.
did that.
So, yep.
So are you in the crypt? Is your name in the game? Or was that a special super,
I think
super
I
special
mean I
tier?
just paid enough to get my copy of the game.
Because I reached a point in the game where, like, there's an island. This isn't like spoilers. It's not like a story
Yeah.
spoiler thing. There's like an island, and then there's a crypt there, and they're like, "Do you want to look somebody up?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh, this has to be a Kickstarter thing."
Yeah.
Because then it's like there's a whole bunch of names that you can go and view. So your name might be in the game.
It could be.
Oh,
yeah.
we've
I
got to
don't even know.
look.
Yeah,
We've got to
We'll
look
have to
now. I haven't gotten that far.
I barely just got there, so it's a long game. This is an RPG. It's a modern day.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a modern day RPG done in the style of late 16-bit, early PS1 era is
Yeah,
kind of
it's
how I would describe it.
pixely, but not totally
Big Chrono Trigger
pixely.
vibes.
Little
Right.
pixels.
Big Chrono
Chrono Trigger
Trigger
references.
big Chrono Trigger vibes in the presentation, I'd say, but in the gameplay, I think this plays a lot more like Super Mario RPG, because it's developed by Sabotage. And
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
Can't stand it.
I know you planned it. Spotify, when it doesn't know what to serve me, it's like, this motherfucker loves Sabotage. And it's right. But it's like, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, that's enough. I'll listen to it one more time today.
Before lunch.
But yeah, man, it's I love this game. I think it's there have been
100%. I'm with you. Absolutely.
there have been a lot of like modern day RPGs that like do the classic RPG thing, and I think some of them have done it really well. But I feel like this one has done it the best that I've seen so far.
Yeah. I generally do not care for RPGs, traditional RPGs.
Right.
But I love this one. It's got my number, and I've enjoyed. It's one that I look forward to playing. And I don't know why.
Well,
I just dig
you
it.
read my mind, because that's what I think. That's really interesting, because I feel like I could see why this would be different than specifically an RPG that was made in 1996. Like I could see why this would be
Right.
more appealing. To me, like the combat system in this game is incredibly engaging.
It is. It really is. And I think that's
You got
part
the
of it
time
for me.
hits and time
Time
defense.
hits like Super Mario RPG, time defense. Yep. And then
Which I can do.
Yeah.
You know, they make it easy. They explain it to you very well. They do one of the things I love about this game is that they do an extremely good job of explaining how to play it and how to understand the combat system, and gives you plenty of pointers and practice and things that I don't feel like I was getting. And I've tried a lot of these types of games and they just don't generally appeal to me. But maybe it was just the stars were in alignment, if you will, at just the right time for me, and it's really working out. So
it's a gorgeous game.
it's a beautiful
Oh, yeah.
game.
And I think that presentation seemed to be very high on their
Spoiler
list.
free, by the way. We're not going to spoil anything on this part one.
Right.
Yeah. Play this game. That's the first thing I want to say is play it. It's a great value if you buy it. If you have Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass.
It's on PS Plus
It's
as
on
well.
PS Plus. It's really out there. They put it out there for everyone for a reason, because they know what they've got, and it's really excellent.
Because when you start the game, there are two protagonists in the game. It's got no bearing on the story, but which one you basically choose to primarily control.
Right. And you can switch later on too. I started out with
Valerie,
controlling Zale.
I did Valerie. Is it Valerie?
it's-
Valere.
It's Valere, and I know this because they care enough that on the site they have a pronunciation guide
Wow.
on
Awesome.
on
Good.
their site for streamers mainly. They've got like a stream package, and it's like, oh, I want to
Smart.
because I want to know, because I didn't know how to pronounce her name either.
I assumed it was
Valere.
Valere, but then I started convincing
It could be
myself it
Valerie.
was an alternate spelling of Valerie.
Totally, I totally get
It's
it.
missing an I, but otherwise
Right.
it's spelled like Valerie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are Zale and Valere.
Valere,
They
yeah.
are solstice warriors, and the short of it is that they are the solstice warriors are people who are born on one of the solstices, and then they are brought to the headmaster by, I believe, a great owl.
Yeah.
And then they train to essentially keep the world safe.
Right.
By
They
fighting.
have magic powers and shit
Zale
like that.
Zale is the part of the solstice where his powers are sun and fire
Yes,
based.
yes. Sun and
Summer
moon.
solstice.
Yeah.
And then Valere is moon based
Right.
power.
Winter solstice.
Winter.
And they do because their spells are very interactive and are very, very different, and then have different effects on different enemies. Like, I like, and the combat system about how when enemies spell cast, what it takes to break their spell casting pops up.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it
The
looks
lock
like
system.
a little slot machine that rolls, and you get an icon. So Valere's attacks are like
Bludgeoning damage.
attack, and then Zale's are sharp slashing
Yeah,
attack.
Like he has a. It's not a sword. It's I forget what the technical name for it is.
It is a sword.
Yeah, is it Kopesh?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something like that.
But
thinking back to my 3.5 exotic weapon book that has that in it.
over the enemy's heads, there'll be an icon depicting smash, slash, or whatever particular spell power they might be vulnerable to.
Moon or sun. Poison.
And it gives you this so that you can choose who to hit with first.
Right.
So maybe the enemy has 2 bludgeoning and a spear or a slash icon over their head. You would pick Valere to attack first because she would probably do the most damage, and it would make that person vulnerable, or that enemy vulnerable.
Yeah, it stops whatever ability they're trying to perform. So they're going to do a big attack, and if you're able to, like you're saying, knock out all of these icons that pop up, you cancel their attack entirely. If you don't get all of them, the attack is lessened.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
So there's still
you
like
get some benefit.
yeah, because sometimes you'll have 3 or 4 enemies, and 2 of them are doing
right
spells or abilities that have very different, and you can't get it all.
Yeah,
and you can but you get the option to pick and choose. Okay, if I can't knock it all out in this turn, I can at least choose which ones to use to take it down as much as I can.
Right,
and that again, it makes perfect sense. It makes a lot of sense to me.
And the ordering is something that's really cool too, because the way that the order of combat works is all the enemies have a timer. So you know how many, it just shows, that timer just shows you how many turns they're going, and how many turns they're going to act.
Right.
So if it's a 1, they're acting next. It doesn't matter,
Right.
they're going next. It doesn't matter where your turns come into place.
But it helps you decide what
Which
you
one
want to do, like how best you're going to affect one or more of those enemies based on how many turns are left. If you've got 2 turns, you're like, well, I can hit with her, then I can hit with him.
Right. And turns are
And
individual
maximize
too,
damage.
which
Yeah.
is important. They're individual to the character, not the party. So the way it works is once everybody in your party has taken a turn, then it resets, and then everybody in your party can take a turn again, which sounds really basic.
And
like
you toggle between them.
But right,
Yeah.
that's what's important is they don't have to go in a set order. You each
can lead
time
with whoever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You choose who you want to.
Some attacks affect multiple enemies,
Right.
and it will tell you if your attack has an area of effect. You know, if you've got 3 enemies and you direct your attack at the middle one, you can toggle between the area of effect and whether it will hit the guy on the left or
Right.
the guy on the right.
And that's very Chrono
And
Trigger
that
style.
is very cool because, again, if you haven't done much damage to the one on the right, you could focus him and still hurt one of the others of your choosing. And I think that choice is nice because it gives you that accountability.
Yes.
You fucked up because you fucked up,
Right.
and not because of a game mechanic being fucking broken.
Yeah.
And I like that.
You see your enemies. It's not random battles
random
like
encounters.
of that classic area,
which I
It's
love.
Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger style. You can see them and you
Earthbound.
can avoid them. Earthbound, yep.
I think it's really neat. I think the magic system's very cool
Yep.
because it takes care of the problem. And even there's a point in the game where there's a character in the game who breaks the 4th wall quite a bit. And she's like the voice that they use to kind of like make fun of tropes from the RPGs in the 90s. And these are tropes that, like, you can tell that they're actively trying to break in this game. It felt like they're trying to capture the feel of a 90s RPG, but also making it play much more seamlessly and have very intricate systems.
They took the best parts and
Yeah.
streamlined them.
Exactly.
Definitely streamlined.
Because their combos, like Chrono Trigger, were 2 different characters. You know, you have your combo bar. Like it's all there. All the good stuff is there.
And that combo system's even like its own thing because it works where it's like for every attack a character makes, the combo meter fills up. So it's not like you're spending
Their
in
magic
it.
replenishes
and-
and the combo meter goes up.
And
Yep.
the combo meter has 3 levels of its own. So
Right.
you can choose to use. I was going to bring this up too because it's neat that you charge up the combo meter, and if you don't use it, it keeps charging and goes to second level, and it has these little notches next to the main combo meter to show how many levels of combos you can do. And if you get it all the way up to the third one, you know, it doesn't necessarily, if I'm right, it doesn't drain every bit of it. Like it just takes it down a notch, and then there's one that uses all 3 notches, and then another that uses 2, and then another that uses just the 1.
Yeah, and you can get more of them too. And I found out later in the game, it's like, oh, I probably missed a bunch of these because there was a mechanic that I didn't know how to do it. And it's like, once I figured it out, I got another combo, and it's like, oh shit, I probably missed like 3 combos, and it's like, I'm not going back. I'm doing fine. You know what I mean?
Far enough in the game probably to know that yet, so that's good to know.
And you can get items to scale. Like there are vendors that will sell you items that you just want to do the story. Hey, here are items you turn on that will make it easier, or
yeah, they're like little runes.
That's cool.
Relics.
Relics.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think it's really neat because
and you can turn them on and off at will.
Which
like
I play with the one that shows you when you do a successful time.
Me too.
that's the one I got too.
It's the only one I'm using.
Yeah, same here. That's the one I'm using too.
It helps.
There's
with
one
the
where you get a
timing.
full heal after every battle to make it easier.
Yeah,
I think I'm running that one. I'm running that one and the one that shows when you have a successful parry or whatever right now, because I want to progress a little farther. But my plan is to turn that off as I've powered up a little.
You feel comfortable.
There are cursed ones too. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh, really?
Those,
No, I haven't.
but
I figured the ones that make it
more
harder.
difficult. Yeah.
And then I love that you're not just buying potions and shit. You find ingredients on the map or buy ingredients. You get some for killing enemies, but you make food to heal you.
Right.
Yes.
Which I fucking love it. You find a campfire, that's where you rest, save, and then you can make food. You have so many item slots, and love it. Love that.
And you can harvest the ingredients as well.
Yeah,
There's a fishing mini game.
Yeah, fishing mini game.
Which is, I mean, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it worked. I was terrible at it.
What
I
took
had
me the
trouble
longest
understanding
time,
how to
dude,
make it work.
was like, you got to like keep the fit. Once you get the fish on the line, you got to keep it in that current, right?
Yeah.
The stream shows up. But I thought you had to tap the button.
Yeah.
So for like 2 ponds, I'm like, oh, God. And then like, I just happened to leave my thumb on there a little bit. It's like, oh, you just hold it down.
Oh, you just hold it down. I've been
Yep.
tapping it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just hold it
Nice.
down.
All right.
And it's like, oh, wow, this is like 1,000 times
Okay.
easier.
It's like fishing in Animal Crossing. I did the same thing.
Yeah,
Tapping
that's
the button.
probably-
It's like
that's
all you
probably
have
what
to
did it
just
to
hit
me.
it once and it'll do the rest for you.
Which, yeah, every pond will have like a post of what fish are available in it, and you can catch them and skin them for, like, you can get seafood type ingredients. You get fish fillets, and you find bones, mushrooms, wheat, potatoes, tomatoes. Like, yeah, so you can make items that heal your MP, your HP at various amounts, your whole party. Like, man,
Well,
fucking
and
love
then
that
not
shit.
to mention that they generously give you the ability to heal during battles, which is an effective heal. You know, it's not just a token thing. It works. It helps. It saved my bacon
Man.
several times.
And I'm still learning shit. Like last night, I was like, oh, because there's also a thing called live magic or live mana, where
Yeah.
it's like anytime you hit an opponent with a physical attack, these like orbs drop out of
right,
it.
and they don't. There's no damage dealt on this initial attack, or with a physical attack. There's no damage dealt, but they drop all these little orbs.
Well, it can still deal damage.
In
It's
in the section you're at, you're right.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten.
Because you go to a trial to where you don't do damage unless you're enhanced with that attack.
Right.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but
After you get out of
after
there, that still happens, but you do damage.
you'll deal damage and they drop the orbs, and then you can
Okay.
use those orbs to enhance your attack. So
Right, that I did figure out.
what I learned yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome, is because usually when you pick up an orb and then you switch to something like combo, you drop the orbs back on the ground. And I had gotten in a situation where I had picked up an orb as Zale, intending to make an attack to like lock out an opponent's casting, and then I was like, oh, I realized something. I was like, that's not going to work. So I tried to cancel out of it I wanted him to drop the orb. So I'm like, I'll just select something and he'll drop the orb. And I selected his heal and it didn't drop. And I was like, what? And then I healed it. It enhanced the heal. And I was like, holy shit, this is a game fucking changer.
Up to what? Up to 3 orbs, I think you can hold 3 different strengths for everything.
And that's as many as they'll drop is 3 in a battle.
And on top of it, it'll add their Chrono Trigger-ish element to that attack.
Right.
So if you contain the orbs, you'll do sun damage and fire damage and sword damage on the same hit.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And if you do the timed attack right, you can do 2 physical attacks when you attack. So like all of this comes into play when you're trying to like get rid of all those locks when an enemy is like casting a spell. I love that system so much.
Yeah.
That makes it, if you took that lock system out of the game, I still think this would be solid, but like way less engaging. Like I love the combat.
Well, it's a perfect balance between simplicity and depth.
Yeah.
I like the fact that a lot of the levels serve as little puzzles, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to get up here to get this thing, you've got to pull a lever and then walk across this platform that appears and then do this thing.
Very, very Lufia style puzzles.
I like that kind of thing. Those are fun to figure out. Those add a nice break while still keeping you engaged. It's a nice break from battle and storytelling and all that to just solve a little puzzle. I think that's pretty sweet.
I think the puzzles are nice. I'm not a big puzzle guy in RPGs. So it's nice. Nikki's been watching me play, and there have been times where it's like, do you know how to do this? And she's like, yeah, you do this. And I was like, okay, good.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it's because like I have stopped playing the game because I've been awake enough to do everything but the puzzles. I got to one dungeon where it was just like, I got to stop. I can come back to this tomorrow because like I was just too tired. And then the next morning, it's like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. But I mean, it was one of those where it's like, if I would have been able to push through that, I could have played that. I've been up kind of late a lot, like playing it because I don't want to stop playing it.
I get that.
It's
I love the cutscenes too.
Yeah, that
They
surprised me.
They reminded me of like Steven Universe style animation.
Sure.
It just surprised me to see cutscenes. You know, I don't have a whole big history with RPGs, but that seemed like a fairly fresh element for that kind of game.
You didn't see it a whole lot. I mean, you didn't see a lot of cutscenes until the PlayStation era.
Yeah, they were real big in that era, but even then, a lot of them were horrible. You know,
right?
Because they're just like, look what we can do with polygons.
Yeah.
Scorpion King, like.
Look, Cloud, he's got squares for hands. He's trying to hold on the edge of this bridge. He can't do it.
Yeah. Back in the day, though, man, I remember that being super fucking impressive. That's like all those like, man, video game graphics will never be as realistic as this.
That's it. That's it. Can't get any better.
Yep.
Because I feel like this is what I wanted Cosmic Star Heroine to be. As much as I did like Cosmic Star Heroine, this is it.
And I feel like that's a. I get that. I
don't know how big Z-Boyd is compared to Sabotage.
I think a lot smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot smaller. Like as in
Z-Boyd's like 2 guys, maybe.
I think it's like 2 people. Yeah, and like this also like Sea of Stars does not give off RPG Maker vibes.
True.
There are a lot of like modern day RPGs that are trying to be classic RPGs that have like a very distinct like RPG Maker feel.
Yeah.
This does not feel like that at all. Sea of Stars feels like it is like made from scratch and beautifully animated, beautifully
really
illustrated.
is.
It's David S. Pumpkins. It's its own thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm David Pumpkin. The animations are great. The controls feel good. Like walking around feels good. It's quick and
That's engaging too.
It really
because you're constantly pressing the action button to like get up on ledges, jump down off of ledges.
Right.
It's like none of the game feels like it's autopilot.
No,
it all
you're
feels
part
like,
of it.
Right,
You're
yeah.
part of the movement.
There's interactive stuff in the villages. People to, there's more than just go in, talk to people, get clues. There are like little side quests. There are things like in this mountainside town you go in, things that you can do there to explore and open up. And remember, it's also got that Metroidvania. Well, okay, there's something here. I can't do it yet. I got to remember to come back here.
Yeah.
There are items. I don't know where you can cash them out, but there are multiple of this one type of item.
The rainbow conch.
One type, in the kind of treasure chest that are scattered all throughout. So I'm sure at some point get so many of those, get a powerful item or whatever.
It's a mechanic in the game. I don't know if you want to know or not, but
not yet. Yeah.
Okay. It's a mechanic in the game, but it's a thing I think that you're really gonna like.
Okay. Good. Because I figured Rainbow Conch was also like Rainbow Shell. Okay.
Right.
Because I did laugh, and I laughed hard. Because in Chrono Trigger, the mountain where you get the Masamune, if you go up, you see a monster standing looking at the sunset. And if you go up and you keep talking to it, it says something different every time.
Right.
Until it wants you to leave it alone, and it gives you like a magic tab.
Right.
I know there's a monster up there standing at sunset on the same thing. You talk to him until eventually he gives you an item, which I was like, yeah, they know what they're doing.
There's like that cave is the Masamune cave. Like there's a cave in the game where it's like, oh, this is like they just redid that, and it's not like a complete grab.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like this is obviously
It's homage.
what they're referencing. Yeah.
Okay.
I still, you mentioned it earlier, but I love so much like going into caves, like, oh, mushrooms, cool. Oh, harvest points for stuff all over the place. Keeps every bit of it. It's not just a blank screen. You're just
It's
running
engaging.
through. There's something
There's
engaging at every screen.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And it's like I get a little fatigued with some of the exploration because I kind of get to a point where it's like, fuck, I
need a save point. I
right.
need to be able to stop.
Or I've missed something, you know what I mean? And it's like, but I don't want to look for this thing for 5 minutes. I like the story. I like the combat. I want to get that going.
The combat, I think, is sometimes if I'm in that place, the combat gets a little slow with certain enemies.
Oh, when you're ready to save and like you got it right, sure.
And you bump into one of those ants that burrows when it hits you, and it's like a 5-6 second animation for it to dig into the ground, burrow over there till you pop up, hit you, burrow back.
Right.
Like, so there are certain makes me yearn for that Suikoden combat where it's just like bam, bam, bam. But that's a very minimal complaint.
I think, as far as looks go, a lot of the look reminds me of Suikoden. I think like the character portraits and like all that gives off those kind of vibes. I think it's awesome that they combined so many great elements from so many different games and like successfully did it.
And no one say with clarity and with purpose,
right?
Like not just as homage, but as we know what we want and we know what you want, and we're gonna make it this way.
And there aren't enough fun turn-based games to scratch that itch coming out anymore. I feel like it was hot for a second, like 10 plus years ago, but now it's just like, man, this is a void I've had in my life for a long time, and I'm so glad like something good came back to scratch that itch.
Yeah, like just the turn-based itch, or or the retro style.
But yeah, all of the above.
Yeah,
see all of the above.
Okay,
because like where Cosmic Star Heroine was like almost there. I liked it. I really did, but it was almost there. This is fully there.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the best things about Cosmic Star Heroine, not to like keep talking about that game, but that setting was so nice.
Oh yeah,
like it was such
a different planets.
If that
and
had,
shit.
If that had been like, because that had like Phantasy Star vibes, and like to a degree, in the setting it had Phantasy Star vibes, but like if Cosmic Star Heroine had been like a medieval style like RPG, then I feel like a lot of the charm would have been. It wouldn't have been there.
The intergalactic assassins and shit. And yeah. No, I still highly recommend Cosmic Star Heroine for people to play, but you could see like, I think this is just the improvement. If you liked that, you're gonna love this.
And I know enough about RPGs and what I don't like about them to be able to really appreciate this game. You know, I couldn't speak to a lot of the little foibles that you've mentioned about the game and that game, and this is like that. And I'm missing a lot of those Easter eggs, but it's not taken away from my enjoyment of it. And it says to me, it says a lot that the developers can do that. They're not just playing to the RPG fan base here. They're playing to gamers, to people. Try this game out. Even if you don't care for RPGs, you might feel differently about this
all
one.
the quality of life things that made you not like RPGs
Exactly.
are fixed here.
And then I think it's really neat for the developer to take that. I think they truly did take that into consideration. I think they might have started this whole project with, how do we make an RPG for people that don't like RPGs? And even if they didn't do that on purpose, they still succeeded at it because, again, it's just not generally my bag, but I've really been engaged with this one, and the very little time I've had to play has been, I've been finding myself looking forward to playing.
Yeah.
And that's rare for me.
The songs have been stuck in my head.
Those songs are
music is so
groovy
good.
as hell.
Man, music is so
God,
good.
they're so good.
Like,
And-
especially the battle music. I'd find myself at work, like, not even knowing that it was like playing in my head. I'd be
Right.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
This is, wait a minute, this isn't sabotage.
This isn't sabotage. Spotify, what are you doing? I'm not playing at all right now, Dave.
It's a different sabotage, Dave.
That's
It's a
right.
different sabotage. Yeah, that music is groovy as fuck. They really
battle
have
music's
just
great. I love
polished
it.
the ever-loving shit out of this game, and it's just so good to see such a dedication to the genre. I mean, it's super cool.
Have you guys fucked with wheels at all? Have you come across
The
that
Burger
yet?
King
Yes.
kid.
The kid
Yeah, the Burger King.
in the wheelchair. Let's underline
wheels.
that.
Yeah.
Look, we didn't make him. Burger King did. The boy in the wheelchair named Wheels.
Wheels.
The black kid?
I'd say,
No.
Wheels is a mini game in the taverns that should be a multiplayer. Like they gotta make this like an online multiplayer thing because
Really?
I fucking love it.
Okay.
I love it, and I can't wait till you guys get to it. And I want to know what you feel about Wheels. It's like this weird, like clockwork game where you select two figures to fight for you, and there's a mage, there's a fighter like a warrior, an assassin, and an archer, and you start with just like the mage and the warrior, and it's like as you play more and you take on more challenges, you are given more figures, and they just do different. They just act differently. Whether it's one will deal more damage than another, or it will deal a different type of damage.
is it like the Suikoden Wars where one thing is weak to the other thing and you need to know what to play against?
Not really. It's essentially like you need to deal 10 points of damage to your opponent. They need to deal 10 points of damage to you. And in order to do that, you're playing slot machine. You roll, and these slots come up. There's 6 slots, and you can lock the ones that you want and then spin it again. And your goal is to, if you get 3 of a kind, something happens.
Okay.
If you get 3 squares, your archer might attack if you've got your archer on the square thing. If you get 3 diamonds, whatever figure you have on the diamond will attack your opponent. If you get 3 hammers, there's a clockwork wall that will start building, which can block certain attacks. Like it can block a mage's fireball. It is, not gonna lie, complicated as fuck the first time. And it's like, I remember the first time being like, fuck, man, I don't know about this. But once the game itself is complicated, but I feel like it's approachable because it's like the stakes are none. It's like if you lose, it's like whatever. Even if it's a championship thing, if you lose, you don't get whatever this person has. You don't lose anything.
Oh, that's good.
So it's like it took me like 3 of these to kind of get the hang of it. And then once I got the hang of it, it was like, all right, fuck, giddy up.
Gonna go play some wheels.
Yeah.
It sounds like a potential for the crossover into the real world. I could almost see a board game of this.
That would do like an actual clockwork.
A
one.
clockwork
Someone's
type
going
of-
to make that.
Yeah, it has
Someone
to.
is going
There's
to
going to
make
be
that.
another Kickstarter.
And you can
For
level.
wheels.
you
Who
can
knows?
level
It could even been a goal at one on one of the levels. I don't
It might have been
remember.
a stretch goal.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a good point. Because I never even looked at the Kickstarter, so I have no idea. I think I remember hearing about it when it came out, but I think at that point in time I was like, I'm burnt out on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy the thing when it comes out. But hey, I'm glad some people kickstarted it
Yeah, in
because
2020.
nice.
Let me see if. Oh, I don't even see what were the levels.
I think I'm like a bigger fan of early access now than I used to be. And I
Yeah.
think it's because of stuff like Phasmophobia and Baldur's Gate 3, which I wasn't in on the early access, but I mean, I know they did that for like 2 fucking years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that, I don't know, man. That's, if Sea of Stars had been early access, oh, yeah, okay. Get in on that.
Okay, so I kickstarted the Child of the Solstice level. So I got backer exclusive HD wallpapers for my desktop and phone.
Nice.
I don't know, there's somewhere.
Nice. I've seen those all the time.
A digital copy of Sea of Stars for PC or console. I got it for Steam. Digital art book. The exclusive permanent backer title on our Discord. And your name in the backer section of the credits. So I don't know
I wonder if that's in the crypt or
if
not.
that's the crypt. I don't know.
Or maybe it's end game.
Maybe it's
And
in-game credits.
Still,
Yeah.
Tyler, you're going to be in the credits.
Oh no, that was the next level up. The $60 commemorative grave with your name in the in-game crypt. So I'm in the credits, but not the crypt.
I mean, the crypt is cool, but I will say this. There are a lot of names. And it's like,
Well,
I read 3 of them, and it's like, and then like the NPC there is like, there's no story here. And I'm like, bye.
according to the Kickstarter, there are 3,646 names in the crypt.
I love that.
I didn't read all of
I
them.
love that. That's amazing.
It is cool. It's like a nice way to
It's for
bring
you
it
to be
into
able
the
to
game.
go in and see
Yeah.
your name.
Absolutely.
And you know that's you. And everyone else, they happen to, anyone that's playing the game, you know, that's listening to our show.
Yep.
If you finish it out, don't forget to look for Tyler's name in the credits because he
Credits.
helped make this game
That's
possible.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I think that's neat. I have a friend whose name is in the credits of Clerks 2
Really?
because of similar support type of thing that they did for
Wow.
that back in the day. you know.
Cool.
Because I know we just wanted to give an overview of what we thought about, the mechanics and how it plays. The plan would be, if we can finish it, to do a part 2 where we actually, spoilers, break down the story and talk about all that.
And
So,
that also might give anyone listening the chance to get caught up and to play it themselves so
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
things aren't as spoilery. But, whatever.
we don't know how long that'll take because we all want to beat it.
It could be a
but-
few weeks. We're gonna next week for sure.
Next week we'll do
we're gonna
yeah.
do an all calls. Give ourselves at least that much time. Mostly me to get caught up, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. We'll do.
I'm only one dungeon ahead of you, so I'm not
Okay.
I'm not that much further than you
Okay.
are.
So yeah, we'll keep you posted as to our progress, but we're not going to promise that we're going to do a part 2 anytime ever. Just so we want to make sure we have a full comprehensive way of discussing it.
Yeah. And I don't want,
Without rushing through it ourselves,
Yeah.
enjoying it
Yeah.
at a good pace.
sure.
Yeah.
And we'd also don't want to. I mean, I would hate to talk about story now when the game came out. Just
Yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks ago. So
Sure.
I mean, I know there are a lot of people who are probably already. It feels like everybody on the planet finishes games about like 2 weeks before me.
Right.
So I don't move at that speed, I guess, like I used to.
Right. Yeah. If this were me 20 years ago, I'd have probably finished it by now,
Yeah.
and I'd have been up till 3 o'clock every night I'll just play a little more.
Yeah.
And I've done a little bit of that. I mean, I've found myself like, I'll go through one. This doesn't take long.
I've forgone things that I normally don't forget.
An hour later.
Stars.
Yeah. Pick it up. Try it out. If you have a popular console that's not the Nintendo Switch, it's not on Switch, is it? It might be.
Let me look it up. I don't know.
But it is definitely on PS Plus and Game Pass. So if you have that, give this game a try. This is a value on.
I bet it will be eventually.
I can't imagine
Switch.
that it wouldn't be. And then otherwise, pick it up, give it a shot.
Yeah,
let us
on
know.
Switch, $35.
Sweet. Let us know what you think. Whatever they're charging for, you said $35.
Yep.
That's a good price. I think this game is worth that.
I'm not gonna lie.
Money.
I wish it was 30, but it's worth 35.
It is worth 35, but yeah,
35 is just a weird one to me.
And I don't feel the pinch is hard because I don't have to
Fucking
pay
inflation,
to play it.
man. Would have been 30. 2 years ago would have been $30.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
Put a Biden. But I did that on Sea of Stars. Go in with your Biden stick. I did that stickers and just put on every copy of Sea of Stars.
My hobby is peeling those off of gas station.
Man, I don't even fucking. Those are like the head of a Hydra, dude. Every one you peel off, two sprout up in its place.
Yep. But I think for now, we've got a good start on this one.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you posted as to our progress.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
100%.
Definitely check it out. Big recommend.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's super late for us, so we want to call it now. Go play some more Sea of Stars.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Before we go, I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about our Patreon. If you'd like to donate money to the show, you can do so at patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com. For as little as $1, you can get access to our bonus content.
$1.
$1 American dollar.
I have that.
Well, then you should give. Wait. You don't have to give us the money.
Oh, thank goodness.
You get some of the money, though.
That's even better.
And if you'd like to become an executive producer, like the fine folks on the list I'm about to read, $20 or more per month will get you that status, and we will stop what we're doing to read your name, just like as if it were emblazoned on a crypt in Sea of Stars. Your name will be memorialized on this episode, and however many episodes that you continue to do that. As I read the list now, starting with Usurper Grimm, Cousin David Galino, Plinko Nick Price, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Joseph Phillips, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville Correspondent Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trick, Karen Dahl, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Pinball Airplane Archmage Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sometimes I'll read your name twice. Platinum member Brett
You
Miller.
owe us another $1.
Bonus.
Platinum member Brett Miller, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Nate from Utah, first time caller Drink Smith, Joey Webster, Dig Dougie, Derek Pope Sandwich, and Cody Phillips. And as always, thanks to our backlog manager, Mr. Puzzles himself, Dane.
Yes.
Thanks for putting the show on YouTube every week. He does it on his own, of his own volition, for free, because he just wants to do it.
Oh.
It's very nice of you, Dane.
It is. Thank you.
And that is all I have for tonight.
So how you guys want to close it out?
As Timothy Oliphant from my BioShock movie.
Done. So until next time. Tropical Capricorn.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it. Because I'm real proud of it, and I'm going to keep referring to the car forever because I love it. I love the story around it, but I had a funny thing happen to me yesterday. I had to go in. Normally I work from home on Thursdays and Fridays, but since we were out for Labor Day and I was out doing charity work for the company on the Friday before, I was like 2 days behind and I needed to be at the office. So I went to the office on Thursday, and I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but I have, unless my car is at home, because I don't live in the best neighborhood, I always leave my keys in my car.
Whoa.
I leave my keys in my car at work and here. I leave them in the car here. I just always have because I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. I don't know. It's a stupid redneck country thing.
I've
It
had-
is 100% what Melissa does.
Shit.
I've
had too many people rifle through my car before
Well,
to not.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's happened to me 3 times.
Well,
and
it's not
like,
But
smart.
then Lexington didn't like.
oh, yeah, in Lexington, like,
God, no.
Lexington,
See,
it was bad.
I only do it places like at work or at here or someplace where I'm not worried about it,
Right.
you know. And plus, I don't usually keep stuff in my car.
I don't either.
It's
Which
usually
is why it's
pretty
always
much-
annoying when it's like,
It's-
someone's been in here going through my napkins in my glove box.
Well, in this car, as I
My
explained,
napkins and pens? Damn it.
I'd be smart to keep pins in there. It's like napkins and hand sanitizer.
yeah, that sounds about right. And this car, the one I mentioned on the show, is new enough to me. I don't even have napkins yet. You know, I'm still just.
Do you eat in it yet?
I know. I'm not. I'm going to try to
When you
hold
get
off
business
on
on
eating
seal.
at it.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to break that seal, and I don't. I will occasionally, if I'm in a hurry and like running late, I will smoke in it, but only with all the windows down. And if it's rain, and I vape mostly, so
Yeah,
the
sure.
vape doesn't stink up the thing, so it's fine. But anyway, I'm real fond of my car, and as I mentioned
Yeah.
on the show, I've got it for a fucking steal, and I am breaking my arm, patting myself on the back about this car, and now I'm telling everybody about it.
I
But
think you should.
so anyway, I'm at work, and usually around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning, Captain Gunner, John Turley, and myself will go out and have a smoke. Take a break, go out and have a smoke, some coffee, shoot the shit.
Of
you know.
Every Wednesday fame? John Turley of Every Wednesday fame?
Yes, John Turley of Every Wednesday fame.
Man, that's all I ever forgot about that in a while.
You might know him from such episodes as 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
NBA James
NBA
and 2
NBA
weeks ago.
James and 2 weeks ago. Formerly known as Burger Bottom,
Yeah.
John Turley.
Wow.
His favorite
You got to
nickname.
bleep that out, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. That's
That's okay. I just have to suggest it.
tough shit, John. I might if you were here, but you're not, so fuck it. Anyway, so we got to have a smoke, and I always park my car in the same place. My car was gone. It was gone.
Someone moved it?
Well, I thought, okay, someone's fucking with me.
Right.
Someone's playing a joke on me because they saw my keys and they were like, oh, I'll teach him to move my car. I couldn't see it. It wasn't anywhere to be found.
Oh, my God.
Fucking, so John and my other friend at work, Craig, he was like, they were like, I was having a fucking come apart.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of work. I've told you in the show, I've done a lot of work on this car. I've busted my ass. I'm trying to make it look real nice, you know, real custom, without going crazy on it. All this. So I'm like, fuck.
Well, your car not being where it is supposed to be is a waking nightmare.
It freaked me out.
Yeah.
I was upset. John rounds the corner of the building on the other side in the other half of the parking lot. It was parked over on the other side of the building. So I was like, okay. And so I was like, somebody's fucking with me. It's fine. I went to go.
So it's on the other side of the building that you parked it on.
No, it's not where I parked it.
But
it's not where I parked it.
Right.
But I couldn't.
But it was in the parking lot.
It was in the same parking lot, just out of sight. And since I bought the car from my employer, there's a lot of cars that are the same model, make and model of mine. Mine's the only bright white one, but still, hiding in a needle in a stack of needles, if you will. So anyway, it's over there on the other side of the building. I'm like, oh, haha, somebody's fucking with me. So I go to pop it because my cigarettes are in the car. So I go to open the door. It's locked. I'm like, God damn it. Well, so I have an air tag on my keys, and I can track it anywhere in the world. And so I'm like, I bring it up on my phone and I search for the air tag, and it's like, for whatever reason, I think I was having trouble because my phone was bouncing between Wi-Fi and cellular. I couldn't get a read on it, but so that has this feature where I can make it beep. I can make it play a sound. Ding, 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 ding. So I fucking hit the button, let it play. Keep hitting that button. And I'm just walking around hitting the button. And I go in the side door next to where my car is parked. And I hear it. Ding, 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 ding. I pop that button. I'm like, motherfucker. I walk up. One of the sales guys is like, he's older than me, is sitting at his desk. My fucking keys are on his desk, and he's like, these keys are beeping. I walk into his...
isolate that and be whenever you call me, that's the ringtone.
These keys are beeping. I just shoved through the door and grabbed him. I said, that's because they're my fucking keys. And I was like, why were you in my car? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you've got my keys. Clearly, I'm confused as to why you have my keys. So why don't you tell me why? I was mad. I was like, why the fuck do you have my keys? And
he's
like,
you can make that beep say something, like man, I sure wish I could fuck a dog. Man, I sure wish I could fuck a dog. My keys keep saying, man, I wish I could fuck a dog.
What I can go for? Some pup pussy.
So he goes,
some pounding puppies.
He's looking at me like
Triple P.
He's looking at me like genuinely confused. And he goes, well, I mean, we took one of the loaners to pick up a car from the shop. Me and the other sales guy, we went down to the guy that holds all the car keys.
He blew me in your car, apparently.
I said, well, we needed a spare car to go pick up one of the other cars. And so he gave me the keys, and so it was parked over there. And when I beeped the keys, it unlocked, and I just thought it was weird that there was a set of keys in it. And I'm like, but you saw the keys in it. There's a house key on it and an air tag, the beeping thing. And you still took the car, even though it was parked over there where all the employees park. And yeah, I mean, it was the spare. I'm like, so there was another key to my car still in the box that I didn't know existed. And the guy and this car was the one, as I explained in the show earlier, was the one that had all the electrical problems. So they would just use it from time to time for quick little trips like this because it was so unsafe. So they just found my car with the key and took off in it and drove across town to pick up another car and drove it. My seat was all fucked up. My air was turned up all the way. I mean, they drove it like it was a fucking company car, obviously. And I was like, that's my car. I bought that car. I have told everyone at this office that I bought that car. And you You saw my shit in it and you still drove it. You didn't think to ask anybody. He's like, well, I just thought maybe someone had left him in there from before. Before the last time someone used it, I said, yeah, they were in there from this morning when I drove it to work because it's mine. So anyway, long story short, I'm pissed. I was pissed. I'm still mad. I drove it home and I'm like, what if they had wrecked it? What if something had happened? You know, I mean, it just frosted my ass. And I talked to the guy that controls
Frosted your ass?
Yeah. It's better than chapped.
Okay.
I like frosted.
Frosted, okay. that sounds nice.
It does sound nice.
He frosted my ass and ate it.
I got my ass frosted.
I got my ass totally frosted today. So
Someone
anyway,
with Cookie Monster on that shit.
Ass monster.
yeah. So anyway, I went to the guy downstairs. I was like, that controls the keys. I'm like, yo, do you have any more keys for car 15? Because that's my car. I bought it. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. You know, it wasn't fine. I was very mad about it, but it was fine. And I did think that, all right, there's a bright side, which is I got a spare set of keys for my car.
That is nice.
I didn't know existed. So now I have those keys
With the fob on
with
it?
the fob and the beepers.
Those are
things are
expensive.
expensive to
Yeah.
replace, and I was thinking about getting one till I looked to find out how much they cost. It was like $200 or $300 for one of those things. So I was just gonna hope that I never lose my keys. But yeah, I gotta, or someone does, or someone has them, or these keys beeping at me. That's why they beep, because I only had one set. But anyway, so yeah, my car got stolen, and promptly
They only beep if someone pulls up porn on their work computer.
I wish my car got stolen, but it was returned to me with a spare key.
Well, I love that it worked out.
Yes,
I'm
but
sorry that someone was inside your vehicle.
It was gross.
Yeah.
That was gross to me. But
Definitely getting a blowjob.
the feeling
We
of
just went to Tammy's and got some blowies real quick.
I now know what it feels like to think your car's been stolen,
Yeah.
and I do not recommend it.
It's happened to me before, but it's
sucks.
just because I'm forgetful. So.
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing. So in addition to buying the Garfield Low phone, the Sports Illustrated football phone, and that clear 90s
yes, which we
phone.
do
Now, wait a
require.
minute. I'm not buying any of that.
Well, if somebody buying. so add to the wish list a airbrushed with the palm trees and shit to, in cursive, have Ian's Steel vanity license plate will slap on the front of it.
I
so
love
no one will make
I
that
love that
mistake.
But
Yeah.
I was going to mention
Ian
that
Steele.
I think you should get a waifu wrap so that
I think that would be good too. I think it would go over real well with
well,
the
I'd start
girl
a
that drives
GoFundMe for
the
that.
Demon Slayer car that lives a block over.
well,
You
this
know,
is
we could
pure
have-
hentai.
Yeah, just 100%.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
absolutely.
porn.
The hardest, the better.
Yeah, no.
I'll design it actually, and I don't like designing shit anymore. But like, I'll design if you'll get the wrap. I'll design that.
All right. Well, I'll need our listeners to pay for that.
What Hoonie Pop girl are you getting wrapped on your car?
Should I go with reality, which would probably be Jessie?
I don't remember the
milk.
Oh, she's the
Oh,
okay.
the
I was gonna say,
cougar.
she's the bitch, the one I
No,
the
she-
redhead.
no, Audrey is
hate.
the bitch.
Audrey, yeah.
Yeah, she's a bitch. No, Jessie's the
Typical
MILF cougar,
Audrey.
the easy one, and
That's a good
that
good
would be
choice.
a good one
for the car.
because she wears lots of leopard print
Yes,
clothing.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely get the license plate too, though.
with the rainbow palm trees.
Right,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. Ian's Steel.
Believe it!